I want light skin. I want that light skin crybaby. I want that light skin coward. And I think he's scared. I think he knows I'm his toughest test at 135 pounds.
Even though Gervonta Davis and Keyshawn Davis aren't officially lined up to face each other, the tension between them continues to grow beyond the ropes.
Just knock that man ass out, man. Stop playing with me, man.
Not long ago, the rivalry intensified after the two went head-to-head in a heated interview that quickly spiraled into chaos. What started as a simple conversation soon became a war of words, with Keyshawn claiming Tank had been avoiding dangerous opponents, such as Shakur Stevenson. Tank didn't hold back in response, dismissing Keyshawn as someone built on publicity rather than proven performances against elite-level fighters.
But it's either you or Keyshawn's gonna get tanked, so the walls are closing in. So awesome.
It's gonna be him though.
It makes sense. He's closer.
Keyshawn, frequently referred to as the businessman, came out aggressively with his comments and stood firmly behind his belief that Tank stays away from the most dangerous opponents. He specifically pointed to names like his longtime friend Shakur Stevenson and even Devin Haney as examples of fights that haven't happened. Tank quickly responded, brushing Keyshawn off as a fighter who talks big but hasn't truly proven himself when facing serious competition. The tension between the two is impossible to ignore, and from Tank's perspective, Keyshawn is simply an untested fighter trying to gain attention through his reputation.
It is him. He's kind of weird. But now he got no choice but to fight me. The fans want him to fight me. After what I just did tonight against a guy that's bigger than him, come on now. If I touch him, what's gonna happen? Talk about that. Everybody want to talk about, oh, Keyshawn, what if he touch you? What if I touch him? Yeah.
Still, fans were quick to point out the contradiction in Keyshawn's criticism. While he continued accusing Tank of avoiding dangerous opponents and carefully selecting matchups, many believe Keyshawn is now doing the very same thing with his own career decisions. A large number of boxing fans expected him to step into the ring with Andy Cruz, a fighter who defeated him 4 times during their amateur careers and is widely viewed as one of the division's most technically gifted talents. For many, that matchup would have been the ultimate chance for Keyshawn to prove himself. Instead, reports now indicate that his next opponent will be Dennis Baranchyk, the 36-year-old WBO lightweight champion.
Cruz, cut it out, Ness. In the amateurs, you fucking idiot. Should Crawford not retire till he go fight Mikey and Danny? Because they beat him in
a lot of fans, the matchup comes across more as a safe career move than a statement victory. Although Baranchyk brings experience to the table, many don't view him as the kind of opponent who would push Keyshawn into the top tier of a lightweight division. Critics have argued that choosing this fight looks like an attempt to capture a title while steering clear of the most threatening names available. Andy Cruz, meanwhile, represents the exact type of challenge many people wanted to see. With his high-level skills and long history against Keyshawn in the amateurs, a fight between them would answer serious questions about Keyshawn's place in the division. But Keyshawn dismissed the discussion entirely, claiming that if Cruz truly wanted the fight, he would make it happen, and insisting he would knock him out if they ever shared the ring. Cruz wasted no time responding, rejecting those comments and making it clear that he's fully prepared and willing to fight whenever the opportunity comes.
Still trying to adapt to this, to our environment. You still trying to build yourself. So why the fuck did you say?
My son. Keyshawn, my son.
Andy Cruz.
The ongoing exchange has sparked major debate among boxing fans. On one side, Keyshawn appears to have a realistic route toward becoming a world champion, as Baranchyk is still a credible name in the division. However, many believe his age and fighting style create a matchup that works in Keyshawn's favor. At the same time, criticism surrounding the Andy Cruz situation continues to grow. Instead of focusing on Keyshawn's achievements, much of the conversation has shifted toward accusations that he's staying away from the toughest challenge available. Because of that, some fans are now questioning whether he's genuinely prepared to compete against the elite fighters at lightweight.
Keyshawn can beat him in the pros, even though Andy had his number, no doubt about it, throughout all the amateurs, including the Olympics. But I think, the pros is a different game. You guys know that. And I think Keyshawn, is showing us more power.
For now, Keyshawn's attention appears to be centered on winning the WBO lightweight title before chasing the division's biggest names. According to his own comments, becoming champion is only the beginning, as he wants to eventually face fighters like Tank, Devin Haney, or anyone considered the top competitor in the weight class. But during their tense verbal showdown, Tank made it clear that simply owning a title isn't enough to guarantee a fight with boxing's elite. In his view, championships alone don't secure opportunities at the highest level. He stressed that fighters still have to prove themselves and truly earn the right to share the ring with the sport's biggest stars.
Going to be a great fighter.
He's calling for Tank. Now,
He beats Tank.
Yeah, you think so?
Keyshawn Davis beats Tank, in my opinion. I believe to give him a good ass spanking.
Kezin's rise through the lightweight division has been hard to ignore, with a perfect 12-0 record and 8 victories coming by knockout. He has rapidly built momentum while gaining attention for both his technical ability and confident personality. Even with that success, the storyline surrounding Andy Cruz continues to follow him. Fans still remember their amateur history, and now that Cruz is making his own climb in the professional ranks, many see the matchup as unfinished business. A victory over Cruz could erase lingering doubts, answer long-standing questions, and quiet those who believe Kezin is avoiding the division's most dangerous tests. At the same time, Tank Davis remains one of boxing's biggest attractions, continuing to stay at the center of the conversation as the rivalry and speculation around potential future fights keep growing.
Whoever comes next, that boy ready. He been ready, actually. You know what I mean? It's just given the opportunity, that's all it is.
You got two little brothers that is closing on Tank. You know, one of them gonna get him.
One of them gonna get him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great night of boxing when they do.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Coming off his 28th knockout victory, Tank Davis continues to cement himself as one of the sport's most exciting attractions. Still, criticism surrounding his choice of opponents hasn't disappeared. Some fans believe his team has carefully steered him away from certain dangerous fighters, and his matchup with Lamont Roach, viewed by many as a capable contender but not an elite-level threat, added even more fuel to that discussion. Tank, however, has consistently dismissed those claims. His stance is straightforward. He fights whoever is placed in front of him and handles the job every time he steps into the ring. And his track record gives weight to that argument. Over the years, he's collected dominant wins against notable opponents such as Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, and Leo Santa Cruz, stopping each of them in emphatic fashion. Even so, the pressure for blockbuster matchups against fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney continues to build, with fans demanding those clashes more and more after every fight.
But also, we gonna come back to Norfolk, man, so y'all don't forget about me. Y'all keep supporting DB3. But a world title definitely gonna be next. 2025, we got big plans.
Kezin's confidence in claiming he can eventually take down Tank has brought even more attention to the lightweight division. But before any conversation about that future matchup can become serious, he first has to get past Baranchyk. On paper, it may look like a favorable fight for Kezin, yet it's far from a guaranteed victory. Baranchyk may not possess the same speed or explosive athleticism as some of the younger contenders, but he makes up for it with veteran experience, toughness, and constant pressure inside the ring. Those qualities alone make him a difficult challenge for anyone that if Kezin were to stumble in that matchup, it could completely disrupt the momentum he's built and give critics even more reason to question whether he truly belongs among the top names in the division.
So I think if Keyshawn wants to fight before Gervonta Davis, sign us up for Andy Cruz. He took him to school 3 times and he'd be ready to do it again.
Kezin's focus goes beyond just Tank Davis, as he continues calling out the biggest names in the lightweight division who are widely regarded as the elite. Along with Davis, he has also set his sights on current champions and top-level fighters, including Vasily Lomachenko, as he moves closer to his goal of becoming a world champion at just 25 years old. Davis has already built a career many fighters can only aspire to. A former Olympic silver medalist, he made a seamless transition into the professional ranks, immediately standing out because of his natural talent and ring ability. Despite his relatively young age, Davis remains highly confident in his place at the top. In a recent statement, he made his position clear, insisting that he is currently the best 135-pound fighter in the world and promising to continue proving it with every fight he takes.
You are good. You are real good.
But there's levels to this game, Keyshawn.
Okay, we gonna talk about levels. Okay, just know
His refined skill set, sharp ring IQ, and growing knockout power have led to him being known as the businessman, a nickname that reflects both his calculated style in the ring and his mindset outside of it. After his recent win over Lemos, Davis has officially landed a shot at the WBO lightweight title against champion Denis Berinchyk. At 36 years old, Berinchyk may not bring the flashiest style compared to younger contenders, but his experience, toughness, and constant pressure make him a serious threat for anyone in the division. The Ukrainian champion, a close associate of Vasily Lomachenko, earned the WBO belt earlier this year after a hard-fought split decision victory over Emmanuel Navarrete, proving his ability to compete at the highest level when it matters most.
that other southpaw on the other side of the street. This is an example for you, but I probably can do you a little earlier than that. You and Earl keep saying this, that, and third. I want to fight, but y'all call.
For Davis, this bout is seen as a major milestone on his path toward becoming a unified world champion. Capturing the WBO title would solidify his status among the lightweight elite and potentially open the door to the high-profile fights he has been targeting. However, uncertainty still surrounds what comes next. Even if he gets past Berinchyk, it remains to be seen whether that victory will bring him closer to major showdowns with names like Tank Davis or Vasily Lomachenko. Keyshawn Davis, meanwhile, has continued to be vocal about wanting the biggest challenges in the division. Following his win over Lemos, he once again called out both Tank Davis and Lomachenko, making it clear that he is ready to face them at any time, stating that if they are willing to fight, he would sign the contract immediately.
I've been doing a lot of talking lately, so hey, I go up to 140 and fight Teofimo. What's up? Get this win tonight. Teofimo, you already know how I'm coming. You and your father. So let's set it up. Let's set it up. I'll come straight to 140.
Keyshawn Davis's confidence has split opinion in the boxing world. Some see him as a future superstar who isn't afraid to call out major names and chase high-risk opportunities, while others believe his outspoken attitude is ahead of his experience level in the professional ranks. Still, his upcoming fight with Berinchyk is widely viewed as a meaningful step forward. Winning the WBO lightweight title would boost his credibility and strengthen his position when negotiating potential clashes with top-tier names like Tank Davis or Vasily Lomachenko. It would also serve as a test of his ability to perform under the pressure of a championship fight against a seasoned opponent. Even so, criticism remains. Many argue that Berinchyk is not the most difficult option available, and that tougher matchups could have been pursued instead. Davis has pushed back on that narrative, dismissing suggestions that Andy Cruz is being avoided and insisting that his focus is simply on the fights that make sense for his career progression. Despite that, the ongoing debate has only intensified questions about whether he is taking the hardest possible route to the top of the division.
What about Keyshawn saying that the Tank is target practice? You heard that audio?
I like how Keyshawn, he's clout chasing. Bring up Tank's name, sell your fight, get the most
That's
views
what Morrell
on it.
was doing.
Yeah, that's what Morrell was doing. But Keyshawn, though, I don't know if he could beat Tank.
Davis has framed the Berinchyk fight as a normal step in his development, rather than a matchup tied to any single rival or name. In a recent interview, he explained that he doesn't need a specific opponent to define his rise, saying that what matters most is becoming a world champion. From his perspective, winning a title is the key milestone and everything else will follow from there. However, even though Berinchyk is a respected and legitimate champion, there's no guarantee that beating him will automatically unlock the major fights Davis is aiming for. In modern boxing, holding a belt doesn't always translate into immediate opportunities against the sport's biggest attractions. Tank Davis, for instance, has often stated that his focus is legacy-driven rather than belt-driven, suggesting that a matchup wouldn't be based purely on championship status alone. Because of that, questions remain about whether Davis's current path will truly lead to the high-profile dream fights he envisions after becoming champion.
Who's a bigger challenge for you right now? Andy Gomez, who we just heard Willie from Boxeo Cubano ask you about, or your boy Frank Martin?
Frank Martin, definitely.
To establish himself as a genuine must-watch contender, Davis will need to keep proving his ability with every performance. A commanding win over Berinchyk, especially one that demonstrates both his finishing power and his ability to adjust mid-fight, could start turning more heads across the division. That kind of statement victory might even draw increased interest from names like Tank Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, and Shakur Stevenson, despite the personal connections and existing narratives around them. What continues to define Keyshawn Davis, though, is his unwavering confidence in himself. While some critics dismiss his goals as being ahead of schedule, his in-ring performances continue to suggest a fighter who fully believes he belongs at the very top of the sport.
Bro, think about it, bro. Come on, bro. Let's go down the line, bro. Y'all been talking about, key fight Mark Castro. Key fight Rayo. Key fight Frank Mark.
Adaptability, smooth combination punching, and sharp defensive skills make him a serious threat for anyone in the 135-pound division. While his resume still doesn't match the experience or accomplishments of fighters like Tank Davis or Vasily Lomachenko, his drive and commitment continue to stand out as he heads into his matchup with Baranchyk. Davis remains locked in on silencing his critics one fight at a time. As he recently put it, he plans to keep proving in every appearance that he is the best in the division. For now, all attention shifts to his upcoming bout, where he has another opportunity to move closer to the level of greatness he believes he is destined to reach.
Offensive first, but he's very, 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 very patient, and then just try to catch you slipping. You know what I'm saying? And certain fighters, is just smart, so.
His previous opponent also brought added complications into the fight by coming in significantly over the lightweight limit, tipping the scales well above the allowed weight and creating an uneven dynamic heading into the matchup. Despite that setback, Davis chose to proceed anyway, weighing in at around 141 pounds during the morning check and showing once again his willingness to accept difficult circumstances rather than pull out. That he went on to face Lemos, a tough, pressure-heavy Argentine fighter with a 29-11 record, in what was far from an easy assignment. Lemos had already proven his toughness earlier in the year by pushing Richardson Hitchens to the limit in April, reinforcing that both his durability and skill set were not to be taken lightly.
Down in that fight. So I don't think it was the same Lemos that fought Richardson Hitchens, but I think that's irrelevant. He demolished him. And that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to go in there. The crowd looked great in Norfolk, Virginia. Great for boxing. Keyshawn's a great...
The fight represented a major test for Davis, who was aiming to keep his unbeaten record intact while edging closer to a potential WBO lightweight title opportunity against Dennis Baranchyk. Former 140-pound champion and current boxing analyst Chris Algieri emphasized just how high the stakes were. He noted that while Lemos is a rugged and durable opponent, Keyshawn was clearly eager for the challenge. As Algieri put it, this guy is no joke. If you want to be bold, I'm all for it, capturing the broader reaction to Davis's career path. Overall, the commentary reflected a growing narrative around Davis, one defined by ambitious calls, risky steps forward, and a steady push toward the biggest stages in the division.
Keyshawn, this new guy, he's 140 pounds, he's not bad.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Davis. That's him right there.
Ooh, no, I thought he was.
While preparing for his fight with Lemos, Keyshawn also found himself involved in a heated exchange online with Gervonta Davis. The situation escalated on social media after Keyshawn implied that Tank's habit of starting slowly and sometimes falling behind early in fights could be used against him. He even suggested that if he were to build a lead over the first few rounds, he would be able to take control of the matchup. Tank quickly fired back with a sharp response of his own, posting an old message exchange in which Keyshawn had previously reached out seeking guidance and career advice. The post was meant to challenge Keyshawn's confidence, highlighting a contrast between his current bold public statements and his earlier approach.
I had a chance to work with Gervonta out here. What was that experience like?
The back and forth only added more fuel to the growing rivalry between the two fighters, with fans increasingly talking about a potential future clash. While Keyshawn's confidence has drawn attention, former welterweight champion Paulie Malignaggi highlighted the real-world obstacles that could stand in the way of making the fight happen. But he pointed out that one of the biggest complications is the promotional divide, Keyshawn being aligned with Top Rank, while Tank Davis operates under premier boxing champions. That long-standing separation between major promotional companies has often made it difficult to finalize cross-promotional blockbuster fights, even when public demand is high.
And I ain't gonna lie, because I like a dude that ain't scared of me too, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas be scared. I ain't sugarcoat, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be scared in there, you feel me? That's why I love sparring.
Malik Nagy acknowledged that a fight between the two wouldn't be easy to put together. He suggested that Top Rank might be hesitant to put Kezin in with someone like Gervonta Davis at this stage of his career, noting that while Tank is willing to face anyone, Kezin still has relatively limited experience at the elite level at the same time. He praised Kezin's boxing ability, especially his discipline, timing, and control of distance. However, he also pushed back on the idea that Tank's slower starts are a real weakness. In his view, Tank is highly intentional in how he fights, often using the early rounds to read opponents, adjust, and set up his explosive knockout shots. According to Malik Nagy, this patient approach isn't a flaw at all. It's a sign of ring intelligence and strategic awareness rather than vulnerability.
Shakur had to like route me up to spar him because this make no sense. Shakur is a better boxer than Keyshawn. And if I'm in there doing millions of rounds with Shakur, what makes you think that Shakur has to hype me?
The conversation then shifted to sparring claims and training comparisons, with Kezin questioning the logic behind the narrative being pushed. He pointed out that even Shakur Stevenson had to be encouraged and involved in bringing him into sparring sessions, arguing that the situation didn't add up the way people were describing it. Kezin went on to suggest that if he is putting in rounds with a technically superior boxer like Shakur in training, then it contradicts the idea that he needs to be hyped up or promoted by others to prove his ability inside the ring.
Call me promoter. You wanna fight with me? Call me promoter. Call me promoter.
You people win.
Anything that comes to your mind when I say the name Devin Haney?
I want to fight light skin. Like I want to fight him in a way, and honestly, I really don't have because people be